Mrs. Lanier here, and I went to my first ever childcare convention. Now, I didn't even know this was a thing. I've never seen that in the States. I've never been a part of it, and I've worked in education. This was like this was like a job fair, college fair kind of thing, except for nursery schools and private schools in the area. So we were traveling internationally, and we were at another convention, an arts fair convention, and so on the way to it, I see this, it says nursery, school, convention. I'm like, oh, this looks cool. I bet you this is like free toys, free maybe curriculum, new kind of stuff out and about, and they're just trying to see, get people to invest or buy things, whatever. So I'm like, oh, that looks fun, and I'm like, and it's free, so I'm like, okay, let's try that. But it was not that. It was okay. My kid had a blast. Let me say that first and foremost. My kid had a blast. Slept. His nap was so amazing after this event. Okay, let me get into it. Let me break it down to you, all the good stuff that we saw. I know I'm going to forget about something because I don't even know where I put the paper right now. And I'm just trying to get it, just remember it all. So, convention center. Went to the convention. First thing, we go in, and there is tons of schools, tons of booths, and then tons of toys, like everywhere. Like you look, toys, and kids just everywhere. It was a lot. And we go into our first booth. This booth looks like a children's museum. Like all of the booths were like little mini children's museums, with the soft play, free play, sensory box, sensory kids, all that good stuff. Just different versions, right? Different versions in each one. You had some that were like brand new, sparkling, and then you had some that looked like kind of like more makeshift, or just like more natural kind of stuff that they brought from outside. And yes, but it was lovely. So each school, each booth gave information about their school. Some gave pamphlets, some you had to, use the QR code and get the information online. But some, they gave you the pamphlet, gave you information of, their hours, the different, options you have before care, after care. All of them provided transportation. And I'm talking about nurseries. These are nurseries and then private schools. But we obviously went into mainly all the nurseries. So the nurseries, they offer medical. So they have like a full-on like nurse doctor on site. And so they get their exams, they get physicals and stuff. They can get treatment. I mean, it seemed pretty in depth. So you had that, right? You had medical, you had transportation, food. They talk about uniform. They talk about just all of these different things, right? And I was like, wow, do nurseries do? I don't think nurseries do this in the United States. And by nursery, I mean preschool. And that too, there was Lingo FS. Was it FS1? It wasn't just preschool, pre-K. It was other things. I don't even know. I'm brain fart. I should have brought the paper. I don't even know where I put the paper. There's no bells and whistles on this one. I'm just trying to tell you just from what I remember. Okay, so what else? So each school does that. Then the school also, the booth has teachers that are actually work there. Sometimes the locations have the owners there of the nurseries. And then sometimes not, because you have some that are they have I've got 15, there's 20 on this, in this country, across the country, or you have over the world, different things like that. They have little other options. Why am I having a brain fart right now? Listen, this event was so awesome, and I just had a good time, and I just can't imagine why the United States wouldn't have this. For us in the U.S., I feel like, you see a few places that are in your area, mainly like the mainstream preschools. right? You see those, you know those names because they have the biggest sign, really. But you don't know the other ones, or the Montessori style, or the curriculum, because that's something that too they give you. They told you about curriculum, they told you about their style, they told you about the extra. So many of these nurseries are like bilingual. They're giving, Arabic, French, and English. They're giving like 3 different things. Some are just giving Arabic, some are giving, different. It's religion based, but like they're giving you all these extra things, science based. Like they were all different. There was only like one Montessori one. But like they gave all just different things that they're doing. They're doing big things in some of these nurseries over here. I'm just like, is this? I don't think this is what's going on in the U.S. I mean, I've seen. Listen, again, the ones that we see, it's just the mainstream ones, and we know it's just basic. It's the bare minimum. But they're not doing all these extra things. I don't think that they're doing these extra things. This makes me want to go and see. I just don't want to go to every single, preschool. I don't want to go to every single preschool. There's so many, and then there's hidden ones that could be gems. They could be gems, and they could be honestly amazing. But we don't have a convention like this where they come to in all in one place, so a parent can go and literally just go, and then you can see the vibe, you can meet the teachers, you can see the curriculum. If it's not for you, you can keep it moving. But if it is for you, then you have the upgrade of it. They have these different times that you can come on another day and like see the school, but stay for a long time, not just like these like 30-minute tours. No, it's like, this is a half-day event. You can come on a weekend and just basically be immersed in everything that they're doing, meet some of the teachers, see the actual school, see everything, right? And then they offer too like a week free, like some of them a week free to like help them transition, but just see it, to really see it, if this is what you want to do, if this is a school for you. I don't think that the U.S. has anything like this at all. I think you get like maybe a day free, maybe a day if you've already like signed up, prepaid, and all of that good stuff. Mind you have to do all of these things here too, but I think there's a lot of stuff that you can do before you really invest in these schools. But like I said, this convention was everything. It had so many schools, and so many teachers were there. And mind you, this was on, I want to say, this was on a Sunday. So this was a weekend event, Saturday and Sunday event, but it had tons of teachers there who'd been in some schools like 20 years, preschools that, invested 20 years, some, 10, but all different countries. They talked about how diverse these schools were. And these were just, some were everyday preschools, nurseries. They were the little mom and pop. Some were, the one that they have like 1 million of them. But like they were saying they have kids from like 20 different countries, 10 different countries. And I'm just like, wow, can you imagine that your child would get to go and be with children from literally all over the world, and then learn another language starting so young, while they are a sponge, while they are wanting to learn and just grabbing. And you know what else? And something else that I remember, they are doing, some of them talk about the special needs, and they talk about, the extra, they have other care, they have extra care, and that they have, like, what? In preschool? I feel like all the preschools in the U.S. are very, like, general education, unless it's a special needs school specifically. I think it's just very general education, or that we don't identify some of these markers that early. I mean, this was preschool. This is nursery they're talking about, nursery. And it seems like they start a little bit earlier too, overall, like for preschool, that they're trying to get them ready in kindergarten, preschool, kindergarten at 5 years old, 4 years old, starting that whole process instead of waiting. Like my child won't be able to start preschool or start kindergarten until 6th grade if he goes into the school system, right? He won't be able to start until he's 6 because his birthday, right? He's that tail end. So he's like a few days shy of being able to start with everybody else. So he's got to wait until he's 6 to start. But he doesn't because I'm going to homeschool and then go there. But like if we were living here in the UAE, because that's where we are, we're in the UAE. If we were living here, I don't think that I would need to homeschool because there's so many cool programs and they're so flexible. Things are so flexible and there's so many options. It's not just like, oh, you have 2 and these are just in like the one next door and you can walk to it or you have to drive really far because it's near your work. No, like they come to your house. They come and pick them up. Yeah, this convention was everything. And then, okay, so then you have all those. I feel like I'm skipping over. I'm going all around. This is my brain. This is mommy brain. So then each booth, they gave all the information. A lot of them gave money, how much each thing would cost. If you want to do aftercare, if you want to do the before care, if you want to, this is just the main time. If you want to do like the halftime for nursery, if you want to just do a few hours, uniform, all that good stuff, right? Those all details. And the curriculum. Talking about the curriculum, some do British curriculum, some do American, some do IBS. I don't think it's IBS. Listen, this is why I should have the papers all in front of me, right? But they're all different. And then some are like they're translated. They have them both in Arabic and in English. Already done, like all this stuff. And I'm thinking, I've never seen anything like this. I feel like when I've tried to find information about nursery preschools in our area, it's very hush-hush. Like they don't want to give the paper of the prices allowed because maybe they're going to manipulate it, change it, if it's day-to-day, like rent and all that kind of stuff, for things like, so everything's so hush-hush. It's the bare minimum. You can't just see these things online. You have to sign up. You have to give them all of your information before they tell you how much it's going to cost, and all the extra prices and things like that. So yes, I am just now curious. Now I want to know more. I want to know if they have something like this in the United States. I want to know if the preschools are like, do they offer all of these things? I need to know more. I really, really do. And my kid just had so much fun. He had so much fun because we went from booth to booth and just played. Booth to booth and played, and then played a little bit more and played a little bit more. And then, yeah. And everybody was really polite. Obviously they're trying to, grow their businesses. So I get it. But it was a little bit different because that's a lot to have kids in and out with no, like, there wasn't so many like rules, like, no, don't touch that, don't go, it was just, you follow your kid, you go from place to place and you just let them be. And we got some gifts too along the way. They were offering, free different bags and stuff like that. I didn't need all these things, so we're not taking all this home. But one, we did get some Play-Doh, so that was lovely. And not Play-Doh, it was like, not Play-Doh, but like the Crayola kind, where it's more squishy. But I don't think it was the Crayola kind because it had a little extra with it. Maybe homemade. It was a nice little jar. That was from a Montessori school, which that Montessori school had been open for like 30 years or something. The owner was there. I got to meet the owner, talk to some of the teachers who their kids had gone there, and now they've transitioned into working there themselves. Like, yeah, that was lovely. That Montessori school, I don't know if it's the only Montessori school in the UAE or in Dubai, or if it was, I think it was the first. But yeah, either way, that team, that was lovely. I need to know more. I want to do more research. I really liked this event. I hope that the US has more events like this, because I feel like for parents that they got the time to go to a free event and really just kind of look through. Obviously, they didn't have to sign up right then and there. They could have, and they had discounts. They had discounts and coupons, not like big ones, but like if you came to this event, there was a couple discounts here and there for maybe like your sign up fee, maybe your transportation fee, just all that. Or if you want to do it monthly, or if you wanted to do it yearly, or if you wanted to do it weekly, you had different payment plans. If you wanted to save even more money, you could do for the whole year. I need to know if they have this in the United States. And if they don't, they really need to have this, because going somewhere and just checking things out and then being able to set up something to just try it out for free, to really see. Oh my God, I'm questioning. Are we making a move? I don't know. But yeah, okay, so that's what I did. My first childcare convention, loved it. It was everything. My kids slept amazing afterwards. And yeah, I'm questioning, what do I want to do? Okay, that's it.